whoops, all I'd like to do today is kind of review. And so if you happen to have that sheet out, I don't I don't really want to work the exact problem. What I'd like to do is work a problem like that. You get that? And then you ask a good question, and then what I'll do is I'll try to answer it for you. And then I don't want you to turn your homework in yet, okay? I also said it's very important that you not have somebody else help you with this. The idea is that you know how to do it. So I certainly would help you. I would like to help you because I'd like to know what it is that kind of is keeping you from doing this. And I know some of you are catching on to factor label. If you have thought to yourself, hey, watch the labels and the numbers will take care of themselves, then you probably have it. I did see at least one person yesterday, they thought it was all about numbers. It's not. This is a new kind of thinking. It's all about labels. And if you make the labels make sense, then the numbers will make sense. Got that? And I don't want to give you this is a real good thinking tool if you let it be that way. All right. Look at your homework. And what about number 1? We did that in class. Are you pretty good on that one? You need to get one. Would you help me right over, I think it's right over there. See if you can get one of those homework sheets there. Madison's going to get you okay. Yeah. And also there's a review sheet. That's all the types of factor label on there. All right. So let's take a look at the first one. Did you write down the given? Did you have 120 pounds over 1? Then you already know at least how to start these, don't you? Did you have a conversion factor multiplied times a given? Now, what label has to go in the bottom of that conversion factor? What label has to go in the bottom of the conversion factor? Uh-oh. No camera. What happened? Okay, sorry. All right, so if pounds is in the given, then where would pounds be found in the conversion factor? On the bottom. Everybody get that? If you got that far, you're in good shape. Now, it just so happens that we have an equivalent. Remember what equivalents are? We have equivalent, and it said 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. So we can do this whole thing with one conversion factor, can't we? Now, I expect you to be able to do a type 1. Type 1 says I only need one conversion factor. How about number 2? Were you able to find the equivalent on the back? Everybody got that? Did you happen to write 325J or joules on the top for the given? Then you already know. Look at the number 3. Number 3, that one took a little more effort, okay? And it's kind of like a chess game. I don't know if you've ever played chess or not, but there are some games where you have to think a couple moves ahead. So did everybody write 100 kilometers over 1 as a given? Now, here's where thinking, all right? I'm going to show you how to think about this one. How do you think about this? Because it said, and the hoops that I'm having you jump through on that one, it says you must use these plus one more. So check to see if you use all those equivalents. Do you know how many kilometers equals how many meters? That's powers of 10. What is it? Everybody know that one? How many kilometers equals how many meters? I even told you yesterday, I said these are probably the 3 most frequent. Oh, no camera. Sorry. It's coming. All right, come on. There we go. All right, sorry. All right, so on number 3, did you fill out those little equivalents? So many kilometers equals so many meters? Okay, you have to use that. It said you have to use it. So you should, if you fill it in, it'd be easier to use. 5,280 feet equal 1 mile, and 12 inches 1 foot, and 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. You have to use those. So see if you did it. See if you actually use those. On number 3, I'll give you a clue on how to do this. On number 3, you're starting with kilometers, right? You're starting with kilometers? Okay, what do you want? Where are you going, though? You're going all the way to miles. Okay, do you understand that's metric and that's not metric? Okay, so watch. Somewhere somewhere in there, I have to use the 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. Now, why would I say I have to use that? Because this is metric, centimeters, and this is English, isn't it? So that's my bridge. That's my bridge. I need to go from English to metric or metric to English. But how do I get to the bridge? I'm in kilometers right now, and what do I have to get down to? Get down to centimeters somehow. So what do you think? Most of you don't know how many kilometers equals how many centimeters. What do you know? What's something that there's no way you can't learn this? How many meters equals how many kilometers? Everybody, how many? 1,000. So anyway, this right here is 100 kilometers, but the equivalent is kilometers and meters. And you have to know that. As power as him, we spent time with that. Now I know that one of these guys is 1,000 times bigger. So here's the biggest mistake people make. How can a little meter equal a kilometer? In conversion factors, this has to equal that, doesn't it? How can a little meter equal kilometer? Give me a lot of them. Give me a lot of meters. Then I can equal a kilometer. Is that what you had? Now, now look in your mind, watch now. What's my goal? Get to that bridge. If I get to that bridge, I'll get into inches to feet, feet to miles. Can you see how we're doing that? So I got one more step here, this metric. I'm going to get rid of meters and change it to what? You won't get to this bridge unless you get to centimeters, right? So I want to change meters into, and everybody in this room should know that. There's no way you should know how many centimeters are in a meter stick. Get it right? Everybody know? Now be careful because this guy's small and this guy's big. How can a small thing equal a big one? You better give me a lot of them. Not 1,000, but what? What is the number? You know. You don't know how many centimeters equals a meter? Okay? There's no way that you shouldn't be able to know these three at all times. At all times. You get that? Okay. So 100 centimeters is the same as 1 meter. Now, do you see how you now can use this equivalent, get into the English world here, and then go inches to what? What's my goal? I went centimeters to inches to, what's bigger than an inch? Yes, and then foot to what? I gotta get to where? That's it. That's the way you had to think. I didn't even have to use numbers right now. I had to think in terms of labels. Okay, now let's go down to number 4. Number 4, ready? Did you put 1 gram of gold over 1? Everybody in the room should be able to do that. So you put 1 gram of gold. I'm just going to use a symbol, okay? And then everybody in here should have been able to put this. Everybody in here should know that the next step is to multiply by a conversion factor that has grams of gold in the bottom. Yes? Now that one says you can only build 1 conversion factor. But look at the equivalence I gave you. Look at the equivalence. It says 197 grams of gold equals 1 mole of gold equals 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of gold. Uh-oh, 3 equivalents. How many different conversion factors could I make? And you answered that. You got 50 cents in it. How many different conversion factors could I make with that statement right there? Yes. And how many am I going to use right here? Only 1. And how do you know which one to use? I want the one that has grams in it. And what else? What does it ask me to convert it into? What does number 4 ask me to change it into? Daniel? Atoms. I want the one that has grams in it. I'm going to use U. And I'm going to use the one that says atoms. And there they are right there. See that? I will not be using that. You get it? See? I'll use these 2. There you go. Okay with that? All right. Next, number 5. I'm giving you hints, and I'm going to walk around the room and help you a little bit, okay? Let's do number 5. Number 5, did you write 60 mi over hours as the given? If you didn't, you're going to make a big mistake. You don't write 60 mph on the top. All right, is everybody there so far? Now, what you do is you eventually have to get into what they call feet per second. See that? You never leave track, don't lose track of where you're going. And so you tell yourself, I got to get out of miles into what? Get out of miles into feet. I think I can do that. And I got to get out of hours in the bottom and get into seconds. Are you okay with that? And you can use your notes and stuff like that. And the hardest one, number 6, let's go down here. Did you write down 250 miles times miles times miles? Now, all I did was I simply wrote cubic miles a little differently. I wrote as miles times miles times miles. You get that? Now, where am I going? Wow, and this is the hardest problem on the homework. We're going to liters. Now, I want to tell you that on the back, let me see if I can find it for you. Okay, I need to help you with that one. Amen. Is it on the back? Okay, look under volume. There it is. Okay, so I will tell you one that I use a lot. Okay, 1 liter, and here's a liter right here. 1 liter. 1 liter equals 1,000 cubic centimeters. And here's a cubic centimeter right here. See this little cube? Okay, each one of those little cubes is a cubic centimeter. This box, 1 liter is 1,000 cubic centimeters, and one more time, 1 milliliter equals 1 cubic centimeter. Those are the two that I would use for volume. So anyway, what you have to be careful about is you go from miles, get rid of miles, then you go to feet. Remember that? And then you're going to use this again. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. And can you see yourself doing that? Get out of cubic miles into cubic feet. Cubic feet to what? This is how you think. Cubic feet to cubic inches. If I get to cubic inches, then I can get to cubic centimeters. If I get to cubic centimeters, I can get to what? If I get to cubic centimeters, I can get to liters. Okay, I'm going to stop the video, and what I'm going to do now is